Hi, my name's Kelly. I was asked to speak for a few minutes about why I do what I do and a few myths that are associated with athletes and kind of their daily activity. So, why do I do what I do? Because it's really cool to work with high school kids and be able to teach them about their bodies and how to take care of themselves and not have to rely on other people for whether it's getting better or being able to do the day to day things that are going to make them better as an athlete. I also really enjoy giving back to my profession and helping kids that are interested in athletic training and interested in doing that same thing and helping people, get to where they need to be and help guide them into the future through their career paths. It's really cool when you see kids that are, come in as freshmen and they don't know anything about sports, and they don't know how to take care of themselves, and they don't really get it, and work them all the way through their career. And by the time they leave, you just look at their face and they get it. You don't have to say anything, they don't have to say anything, they just get it. So some of those things that we look at trying to get them interested in understanding and getting is some of the biggest myths that we deal with high school athletes on a daily basis. So one of the biggest myths is that ice fixes everything and ice heals things and ice is the best thing ever. Ice is great for helping numb things. It can help with some things, but it's also sometimes can prevent some necessary inflammation that comes along with the healing process. So don't necessarily just have to ice everything. Another really big one is concussions. Not all concussions are the same, and a lot of people think, well, I had a concussion and it took me 3 days to get better, and so it should take 3 days to get better. Each concussion is different, and each athlete is going to be different, and each student learns differently, and they're going to have different reactions to that. And so, not all concussions are a really big deal, but concussions can't be blown off either, and they're all going to be very individualized, and so you have to treat them as such. Another one is in terms of injuries in general, thinking that, that standard, if I just sit out of activity for 5 days or 7 days or 10 days or whatever that standard doctor's note says, that I'm just going to get better and then I'll just go back into activity at that 10-day mark and just return to my normal activity like nothing ever happened. It's not really how the body works, and it's not really the best way to get them back in. Along those same lines is if you're injured thinking that you have to just sit out, you don't. There's always a way to modify everything. That's a big part of what I do with people, is getting them to understand that you can modify things and work your way back in, and you just have to focus on what you can do instead of focusing on what you can't do. And that's also really good for that mental health piece, is really keeping the positive and what works and what doesn't work, so that you look at how can I productively use my time here. Another big one in terms of the working out, you'll hear this a lot. I myself have been guilty of this, is the concept of, and with female athletes in particular, is women who lift heavy will get bulky. There's a big stigma with the female athletes that, they don't want to lift and they don't want to look like the boys. And the reality is that getting your muscles bigger and stronger is just going to help your body function better, help prevent more injury, help you train harder, and to help you, in the real world, be able to eat more stuff that you want to eat. And, food is fuel, and being able to eat more is a good thing, and, you'll be able to do more. And I think that athletes, particularly at the high school level, forget that they've got to fuel their bodies, whether it's the food, the hydration, whatever. If they don't fuel their body, it's like, I tell the kids all the time, if you don't put gas in your car, it's not going to go anywhere. So if you don't take care of your body and fuel your body, it's not going to do what you want it to do. Another big one, speaking of working out, is delayed onset muscle soreness, which everybody commonly knows as DOMS. DOMS is a result of microtrauma in the tissues that causes inflammation. It is not caused by lactic acid. So when we hear people say, oh man, I'm so sore, I have all this lactic acid buildup, it's not actually accurate. Lactic acid usually clears your system in the 30 to 45 minute time frame after your workout. DOMS is microtrauma that is actually inflammation that's a necessary part of the muscle building process. So as your body is going to build those muscles and get stronger, there is a natural inflammation that will happen, and that's okay. And that's another reason that we don't necessarily ice everything. So as you can see, kind of everything kind of ties back in together, and to what some of those best practices are for keeping you healthy and available on the field. Also, along that path and getting the guidance that you need in that field is working with the athletic trainers to get you there. A common myth for the athletic trainers to deal with is people thinking that we're here to hold you out. We're absolutely not. Like I said, my biggest thing is educating people to get back onto the field. My goal is to always have you doing something. If you have a shoulder injury and you're a baseball player, what can I have you doing with your lower body to help you better at your sport? What can you be running, or is your shoulder bad enough that you can't run? Can you be working on the hip movement of your swing? Can you be working on a sliding technique without injuring your shoulder? Can you be working on footwork drills? There's all sorts of things that you can be doing, and we always want to get you back. And the successful part of our job is when you are healthy and competing, and out there kind of doing your thing and having a good time. So hopefully those are some helpful tips, and hope you guys all have a great day and enjoy the video.